Hello, my stamping friends. My name is Holly Peterson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today, I'm going to show you how I put this quick and easy card together, mixing old product with new product. The stamp set bundle that I'm using is Traditional Labels, has all of these great greetings, and then you can buy it as a bundle with these fabulous label dies. I'm also using Mossy Meadow and Gold trim. This is a new ribbon that's coming up in the online exclusives. One side is more Mossy Meadow, and then the other side is more gold. It's really pretty. This will be available on, this and the bundle will be available on September 3rd. The designer series paper that I'm using is Retired, and it is Season of Green and Gold. And I'll go over the measurements with you. So our card base, I like the thick Basic White. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. I have 2 pieces of Mossy Meadow that measure 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And you can see out of one layer, I have die cut my label. We have a Basic White that's 4 by 5 1/4. We have a piece of designer paper, 2.5 by 5 1/4. I don't know, I should show you guys all these measurements together, sorry. There we go. Another piece of that same designer paper, a different pattern, that measures 1.5 by 5.5. I have 2 little strips for the inside, and these were just leftover scraps, but they measure a half by 3 7/8 and a 1/4 by 3 7/8. We'll use those for the inside. And then the ribbon, you need about 6.5 inches of the ribbon. Okay. We'll go ahead and do our inside first. These skinny strips, I'm going to use my liquid glue. Maybe we'll use liquid glue. Okay, liquid glue is not playing nice today. So let me grab a silicone mat, and we will use our seal. If you're having a hard time getting it started, you can just start it a little bit on your silicone mat, and it won't stick to your silicone mat. You can just wipe that off. Makes for easy cleanup. So this one, I'm going to leave a little bit of a border. And then this one I'm going to just layer on top with a little border in between. I've got a little bit of excess adhesive there, so I'm just going to take my adhesive eraser there. And then this is going to layer onto the Mossy Meadow layer that you did not cut out of. If you use the one you cut out of, you'll have a divot when you go to sign your card. of my way so I can have a better background edge to look at. On the inside, we're going to stamp Bright and Happy Christmas Wishes with Mossy Meadow. And that must have come from a different stamp set. I don't remember right off the top of my head, but it's one of the new ones coming up. It's a little crooked, but it will do. Okay, that's our inside layer. When I have two pieces of designer paper that I'm going to layer together, I like to tape them together first. So I'm going to flip both of these over, and I'll do this one the opposite that I did my sample card. And I'm just going to butt them up together. Looks like I'm off a little bit. I'll have to trim that. I'm going to use my Scotch tape. And then for me, it's easier to work with one sheet versus two. And you'll see I'm a little bit off on my cut there. So let me grab my little trimmer. There, now we are all even. So then I'm just going to adhere these two layers together. Oh, bring my silicone mat in again. And that just layers on there. And then I'll take the ribbon and I think I'm going to do the Mossy Meadow layer out. For this, I'm just going to take a glue dot and stick it on the end of each end of my ribbon. Then I'm just going to cover up that seam. Like that. This is ready to go onto our card base. teeny tiny little border there. Might as well go ahead and throw our inside in there as well. Wouldn't have had to have had the Mossy Meadow layer on the inside, but I think it helps dress up the inside of the card with that extra layer. And then on our label, this is one stamped together, so you want to make sure you know which way it's going to go on your label. So that's how it's going to go on the label. I've got my gold embossing powder. And I am going to use my embossing buddy. Just wipe that off a little bit. And then we're going to stamp with Versamark. And then we will put some gold embossing powder on it. I like to coat it twice just to make sure that I got everything. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to step off to the side here and emboss that really quick. I will be right back. I think my heat tool will work over this far. Heat embossing is so awesome. There we have it. On my original card, I didn't put any gold cording. I just found some that I'm sure is retired. I don't even know what pack it came with, but I think, I don't know, I might have. This one is retired. Simply Elegant Trim is what this is called. And I think I like this gold better. So I'm just going to wrap this a couple of times. Kind of crazy and out of control. Okay. Maybe try to get it to straighten out a little bit for us. And I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. And stick that down. And we're going to put this on dimensionals. These edge pieces work great for labels and banners. So we'll just go like that. There. I think I like that. Adds just a little bit more bling to the front of the card. And then the last thing I added, I know these are retired as well, so sorry I'm using these retired items, but I have them. And these are the iridescent foil gems. They're kind of a clear gem, but they have gold in them. Put a new tip of my Take Your Pick tool on here. I just need to get it started. If you tighten down your Take Your Pick tool, it squeezes the putty out the end. But then once you have your putty where you want it, I don't know if you guys can see that. Should come out a little bit more. Well, I think that there's enough on there for me to use. I've got these two little stray ones here. And I'm just going to put them here. And then we'll get one more. There we have it. Quick and simple Christmas card, mixing old with new. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching my video today. I greatly appreciate it. Bye for now.